for the next battle.
This should be fun.
The development of 1 vs. 1 fighting games on mobile platforms has evolved significantly over the years. Starting with simple controls and minimal graphics, mobile fighting games have now reached a level of quality that closely matches that of consoles and PCs, with more intuitive controls, stunning graphics, and increasingly complex online features. Initially, 1 vs. 1 fighting games on mobile were quite simple due to hardware limitations. Mobile phones during this era were not designed to handle complex graphics or precise controls like consoles or arcade machines. As a result, early games often used only 2 buttons for attack and defense, with limited character movement. With the rise of smartphones in the early 2010s, devices like iPhones and Android phones brought much better graphic and processing capabilities. Game developers started utilizing touchscreens and improved hardware specs to deliver a more console-like experience. 1 vs. 1 fighting games during this period began to feature smoother graphics, more complex controls, and a stronger arcade-style feel. Examples of games: Street Fighter IV Champion Edition 2010 on iOS and Android offered more flexible controls using touchscreens, with graphics that came close to console quality. This game also began to include online multiplayer modes, although with some initial limitations. Shadow Fight 2 2014 by Neki became highly popular during this era. Despite using silhouetted characters, its deep fighting mechanics and gameplay stood out. It also introduced weapon and character upgrades, adding more depth to the classic fighting game formula. Starting around 2015, freemium and gacha systems became the dominant business model in mobile games, including 1 vs. 1 fighting games. During this time, many games adopted gacha elements, where players could unlock new characters through loot boxes or in-app purchases. Additionally, online multiplayer features were increasingly enhanced, allowing players to fight against others worldwide in real time. Examples of games: Injustice: Gods Among Us and Injustice 2, 2013 and 2017, by NetherRealm Studios are prime examples of fighting games that used the freemium model with gacha elements. Players could collect characters from the DC Comics universe, upgrade them, and fight in 1 vs. 1 battles against others online. Mortal Kombat Mobile 2015 adapted the iconic Mortal Kombat series for mobile. It simplified controls for mobile devices while maintaining the brutal and action-packed nature of the franchise. Players could unlock various iconic characters via a gacha system and engage in 1 vs. 1 or 3 vs. 3 battles. Marvel Contest of Champions 2014 by Kabam is another successful example of a fighting game that uses freemium with gacha mechanics. In this game, players collect Marvel characters and battle in 1 vs. 1 arenas, either against other players or in a campaign mode. I used to play Tekken Mobile, but Tekken Mobile was shut down in February 2019, just a year after its release. Several reasons contributed to its closure, even though it was part of a highly popular franchise. Despite being a well-known franchise, Tekken Mobile struggled to maintain a large and active player base. One of the key reasons for the closure was the low retention and engagement rates among players. Many mobile gamers found the game less compelling compared to other mobile fighting games like Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat Mobile, and Marvel Contest of Champions, which had more consistent updates and a better overall structure for long-term engagement. Tekken Mobile followed the freemium model, where players could unlock new characters through a loot box or gacha-style system. However, this system received mixed reactions. Some players felt that the gacha mechanics were too frustrating or unbalanced, making progression feel too slow or expensive for those not willing to spend real money. The combination of these issues with progression in a highly competitive market led to a decline in player satisfaction and eventually in monetization. By the time Tekken Mobile was launched, the mobile fighting game market was already crowded with successful titles. Games like Injustice 2, Marvel Contest of Champions, and Mortal Kombat Mobile had already established themselves with rich content, frequent updates, and large communities. This intense competition made it hard for Tekken Mobile to stand out, despite the strong brand recognition. Although Tekken Mobile attempted to adapt the complex mechanics of Tekken into a mobile format, many players found the controls less intuitive compared to other mobile fighting games. The simplified swipe-based controls did not fully capture the depth that hardcore Tekken fans were used to, making it less satisfying for dedicated fighting game players. While Tekken Mobile had a promising start, it lacked frequent updates and additional content to keep the player base engaged. Other mobile fighting games had regular content drops, events, and new characters, whereas Tekken Mobile didn't maintain the same pace. Without consistent updates or fresh content, many players lost interest over time. Another factor could have been Bandai Namco's focus on other projects within the franchise. The mainline Tekken series was still doing well on consoles, and the company may have decided to allocate resources to areas that were performing better financially. Mobile games require constant attention, updates, and development, and Bandai Namco might have chosen to redirect resources to other more profitable endeavors. Conclusion: the combination of low player engagement, monetization issues, intense competition, gameplay limitations, and lack of consistent content updates contributed to the shutdown of Tekken Mobile. Despite being a beloved franchise, it couldn't gain the traction needed to sustain long-term success in the mobile gaming market. I hope that mobile fighting games can compete with the PC platform. I don't mind if the game includes microtransactions or a gacha system, as long as the game has quality. With a stable revenue stream from microtransactions, developers can continuously update the game, add new content, fix bugs, and keep improving the gaming experience. This ongoing support ensures that the game remains relevant and engaging for a long time.